Much better day yesterday with a few familiar names who delivered. Nice to see. Let's go through some of yesterday's matches. The OFB Cup, plenty of goals, but did they match the pre-match odds? I told you the day before, 108, 6-0. Well, I would look, as I say, 5-0, 7-0, 9-0, or 4-0, 6-0, 8-0. It's just the luck of the draw. If you go odds or even, and you can vastly improve the return that a 1.08 won't give you. In the Belgian Jupiler League, yet another 0-0. I think this is the third 0-0 we've had in the opening day of the season. I would have laid the draw very late on. Genk did deserve, to be honest, stats-wise, to get the result. You can see 21 goal attempts, but this was the key stat, 18 shots off target. You aren't going to score if you can't hit the goal. 10 corners as well, one-way traffic. And looking at these stats, I think the Genk manager would be looking at 3 points dropped or 2 points dropped. Didn't really get involved in any of the other matches. Kent and Gortrick were Ghent strong favourites. I think they were pre-match, 1.8 favourite. Could have laid the draw second half. Czech Republic, don't think we got involved there yesterday. Familiar names, Poulsen getting a result. The Danish Super League, this is what I'm talking about, old reliables, FC Copenhagen. Fantastic stuff. You could have actually watched this on Betfair. They were showing the match. 1-2 lead at half-time. Get involved. 2-2, perfect. Stay in if you want. 3-2, definitely cash out. Really good stuff from Copenhagen yesterday. AGF Aarhus might be worth watching. They're full of goals at the moment in their opening 2 matches of the season. Hacker and Gnistan. Well, this was unlucky because I was using what I term averaging. So in-play stats, I was with Hacker, as I think you would have been had you looked at the in-play stats. 5 shots on, 2 off, 13 corner kicks in total. Really dominant display, particularly second half. But they didn't get the goal in the right order. Gnistan made it 0-2. So at 0-2, I do what I call averaging. And I'm afraid it got matched after the market opened up again. So that is incorrect. I should have cancelled. I thought that the bet at 10s would have been cancelled. You place this bet at 0-2, not at 1-2. You place it at 0-2 because you're expecting a goal from Hacker. If you get the goal from Hacker to make it 1-2, what happens is the break-even point gets within your reach and you could even get yourself out of what is a losing trade. So that is incorrect. It's the original £40 stake and then a bet at 10, a bet £20 bet at odds of 10. Hacker did score to make it 1-2, and I did point out to you, if you went the +1 route, you could have got out with about a third of liabilities lost. Sometimes you're going to have to take a hit. It's as simple as that. We can't get it right 100% of the time, can we? So averaging is something we're going to be talking about in the new season. It's come to our rescue on a number of occasions. I think we've got Bodo Glimt was a recent example. See if I can show you that particular match in Norway. Again, it's the same scenario. You're expecting Bodo Glimt to equalise, but they don't. They concede 2 consecutive goals. So let's have a look at the match I'm talking about. And I actually came out of this match with a profit. I think it was, could have been this one here. I'm not sure which match it was. This looks like it was last season. This one here, the 2-1 loss to Sandefjord. As you can see, you're expecting Bodo Glimt to get the equaliser at 1-0 down. But at 2-0, it's not very good. But we did get the goal. The goal made it 2-1 in the 61st minute. And between the 2-0 and the goal, thankfully, I got on, backed Bodo again, laid Sandefjord again. And with the averaging, your break-even point gets a lot easier. I actually came out of this match with a £57 green screen. That's the importance. If you're expecting a goal and it's 2-0 down, do not panic. Okay? We'll be going more in depth once we get into a live chat webinar. If I have an opportunity to show you what I term averaging, then I will do. It's a very good technique, and it would have come in with Haka, but it just bad timing. I placed the bet at 10s. It didn't get matched because the market suspended and it was already 1-2, and that was the opportunity gone. And I was going to pass this on to you as well, but Haka were too efficient. They were going to score. Another reliable KUPS. So nice to see. So we've got KUPS, £42 green. You stay in. The thing about going match odds is we've got options at exit. Do you get the green screen at 1-1, or do you look for the profit, willing to take a hit on the draw? So if you're willing to take that small hit on the draw in the hope of getting 4 times as much on KUPS, by all means do so. Same story for Copenhagen as well. If you're willing to take a £9.58 loss on the draw in the hope of winning 40 quid, by all means do so. This is why I back Copenhagen half stake, lay AGF half stake as liability. It gives you a marginal loss on the draw. So if we get the equaliser, we can stay in, hoping for the winner. And it came to fruition, as you can see there, with Copenhagen and there with KUPS. So good stuff. Reliables. That's what these lot are. Copenhagen, KUPS. They're going to be reliable. Bodo Glimt will click into gear at some stage in Norway. This was one I missed. This was based purely on the in-play stats. I would have actually laid, I think I would laid Sarpsborg here with the initial goal because the in-play stats were so strong for Lillestrøm in the first half. They don't look it here, but they were in my stats feed. And they really came to light second half. So this was one where at least at 0-2, you could have got involved because of the in-play stats. Good result for Lillestrøm, thoroughly deserved. No other matches really yesterday. This was one I missed out. Desmond 3-3. We got our old Desmond 2-2, just had another score to that. Desmond 3-3, take that on. And Markovic penalty, so Haugesund will be absolutely gutted with that. Viking getting the win against Molde. Not sure I would have played. I think I was asleep by then, I think. Polish Ekstraklasa, Legia Warsaw, always expecting to get a result for them. Pogon again. In-play stats, I should have laid Zaglebli, but got to rely on in-play stats, even if you don't know the teams that well. Thoroughly deserved equaliser. Look at this. It's a great visual, isn't it? Who would you fancy here, looking at that? As I take a swig of coffee. 21 goal attempts, 6 on, 15 off, 8 corners to 2. Looking at how the match unfolded. 2-1, thoroughly deserved equaliser, really was. So that's one I missed out, and I should have passed this on to you because as each minute went, Pogon's odds got shorter. Sorry, Zaglebi's odds got shorter and shorter and shorter. Liability got lower, and we would have nabbed that. So I've got to have a bit more confidence and pass these things on to you instead of doubting my abilities. Swedish Allsvenskan, not much going on there yesterday. Swiss Super League, good result for Servette. We did take on the young boys, although the market told us it wasn't expecting a young boys win yesterday. Something is up with the young boys. Are they actually playing young boys? Because they are woeful at the start of this season. YB having a torrid time. Losing to Servette, losing to St Gallen, and we're not talking about tight losses. We're talking about 7 goals conceded, 1 scored, and losing their opener against Sion, newly promoted Sion. Something is up at Young Boys. I hope it changes, because they are, and have been in the past, a very, very reliable football team. Tennis-wise yesterday, don't think I got involved. Again, the Olympics would have been the dominant competition. But hard court, I do recommend you follow hard court, because our next Grand Slam is a hard court Grand Slam in the US. In the Olympics, nothing much caught my attention yesterday. Danny Evans, nice to see him through. Casper Ruud nearly lost the first set. I was ready and waiting. Good stuff from Jack Draper. Old Darren Anderson, sick note, Nishikori, not quite on Draper's level. Draper's probably going to start tumbling down the rankings. Stefanos Tsitsipas, what a pity Bergs couldn't take the first set off him. And we would have had a play there. Rafa Nadal, nice to see him through on his favoured surface. My old pal Musetti, another one to stick in your notebook. Like when I spotted Stefanos Tsitsipas before he really blew up. Musetti, watch him tumble down the rankings. He is one to watch. Looks like a class act. Zverev, easy as you like. Milos Raonic, well, guess what? A tiebreaker in a Milos Raonic match? Unheard of. Not. This is what you expect from a Raonic. He's very, very hard to break his serve. In the ladies' game, I wasn't paying much attention to the ladies yesterday. I think my dominance focus was with the football, because we're getting far more reliable football teams now. Today, no wonder it's a day off, but we got talking about old reliables. Brøndby were quite brilliant in their opening match. If you stuck with them, we had 3 90-minute goals. They were behind on 3 occasions in the opener, 1-0, 2-1 and 3-2, and they didn't lose. So Brøndby, stick them in your notebook. Vejle did lead in their opener, 2-3 loss for them at home. We need to get rid of this bloody thing. That's it, good. So I would be strongly favouring Brøndby at 6 o'clock. Raquel used to be champions a couple of seasons ago. 1-1 and a 2-1 win for them in the head-to-heads last season. They beat newly promoted Motor Lublin 0-2. That's not a surprise. Cracovia drew 1-1 with Piast Gliwice in their opening match. In-play stats, I'm afraid, just to see whether the market has got Raquel correct. Swedish Allsvenskan, AIK against Gaias. No draw in 12. No draw in 7 away. What are you going to do? Lay the late draw. It's not rocket science, is it? Expect second half goals. Lack of form for AIK at home against the top 10 does dull enthusiasm. They are playing 6th today. They've not really played. They've only played 2 of the top 10. A 2-0 win and a 1-3 loss. That's not enough for us to gauge how they're going to perform against another top 10 today. So a watching brief for AIK and Gaias. A lot more football today as well. Let's have a quick look. Monday. Let's go to, here we go. Yeah. So let's have a quick look through as we work our way down. I don't think there's any Olympics football today. Chinese Super League, 12:35, Shanghai Shenhua. It is available at soccerstats.com, the Chinese Super League. You may not see the flag, but if you go to this section here, CHIN, Chinese Super League. And why don't we do a little bit of research in front of your very eyes. If we can, Wuhan, 3 towns, Shanghai Shenhua. It's a tradable enough competition, the Chinese Super League, but time-wise, it doesn't suit yourselves. It's about a lunchtime kickoff. So we work our way down, and you can see Shanghai Shenhua unbeaten this season already. Who are you going to be favouring? 2 consecutive 1-1 draws for Wuhan Three Towns, scoring and conceding in the last 4, suggesting they might be vulnerable if leading today. They're on a woeful home record as well. You can get a quick synopsis here. No win in 5 at home, conceding in the last 5. 4 consecutive away defeats. No defeat in 20. Really solid. Look at this. 2+ goals scored in the last 3. No wonder Shanghai Shenhua are favourite today. Challenge table will give you a nice look at where they are. Wuhan Three Towns in the top 10, and notably have failed to beat a top 3 side, losing 4-1 in the last head-to-head. Failed to beat a top 5 side with home advantage, failing to score that second goal against the top 5. So they are layable if leading. Shanghai Shenhua, look at all those wins. They're going to be feeling confident today. So this is the quickest way for you to research the challenge table. Gives you a nice synopsis of how they perform throughout the season. And if you want to look at goal times, don't forget home for the home side, away for the away side. Do a lot of their scoring second half, Wuhan Three Towns. Shanghai Shenhua live on their defence very, very strong indeed. So that's a nice quick bit of research. How long did that take to do? Not long at all. Let's have a look through. Danish Super League, as we already know. Brøndby favoured today. Very solid in their first match of the season, showing a lot of battle with 3 consecutive occasions where they were behind. Obosligen, in-place stats, I'm afraid, but we've got an odds-on favourite at home, so that will go on the roster or the watch list for me a bit later on. Polish Ekstraklasa, as we already know. Polish First Division, it might be worth following Arka Gdynia this season. They did stand out last season, and I think they were a tad unlucky not to get promoted. They could be one of the top 2 this season in the Polish First Division. Romanian One League, just give it a little mention, but 2.38 and evens the favourite, not really stand out for me. Working our way down, we've got the Superettan as well. I'm not going to be researching the Superettan. It's been an awful league over the summer. Absolutely woeful. Friendlies today. Well, Belper Town and Burton, of course, give me sleepless nights waiting for this one to kick off. I can't wait. No real big names today. They're all having Monday off on their holes down to Bognor Regis. Tennis-wise today, let's have a quick look. The Olympics continues too. Please read these previews. They're free and they're incredibly well written. Shorties, Casper Ruud, Baez, Tsitsipas, to be laid. Anything 1.05 or lower to be automatically laid. This is going to be an old crackerjack. Novak against Rafa. Wow, man. Blast from the past. Fantastic stuff. Rafa has been plagued with injury, so it's a strong leaning towards Novak Djokovic, but he's not been in his best form this season at all. Kurundulu, was he not the one who gave... no, he wasn't. Gave Rublev a hell of a go. So some very solid selections today, or at least players that we know. Hard court, we've got David Goffin, Bautista Agut and Shapovalov. That's a standout match of the day. Borna Coric might give Ruusuvuori something to think about, I think. And in the ladies' game, Iga Swiatek, world number 1. Zheng, impressed. Paulini, I like. She's got a bit of battle about her. Angelique Kerber coming to the end of her career. Don't know how reliable she is. Any others? Well, Corey Goff, 1.06 has to be laid at the off for Corey Goff. Navarro has been consistent enough. Maria Sakkari, absolutely dominant. And don't forget, a bit of Wazza. I think she'll give Collins a game. She had some very solid performances, Wozniacki, recently. Rory McIlroy's old flame. Remember when these two came to Hua Hin, Wazza and Rory, way back when. But she's put together some good results, Wozniacki, particularly when she's not been favourite. Beating Svitolina Kudermetova. She's taken some good scalps. And she's been very competitive as well. So I think Wazza could give this Collins something to think about. As you can see, the hard court starts arriving. So pay attention. Emma Raducanu. A lot of Americans playing each other. Pliskova, another familiar name, Washington, D.C. I'd love to be doing that travelling. Wow. Fantastic life these lot have. It's my day off today. I gave you all of my hours yesterday. A bit bleary-eyed because it's 3 a.m. in the UK. But, as I say, familiar names will bring me out of the woodwork. So if there is any plays, I'll certainly pass them on, but don't expect anything today. I do need to take a day off. Have a great day today. The tennis looks very appealing indeed. The football, a little less so, but at least we've got some familiar names. You saw yesterday how familiarity and reliability came to our rescue on 2 occasions. All the other matches, we kept liabilities very low. This was totally against the run of the in-play stats. This lot were 1.2 pre-match, but in-play stats suggested Vasteros could get the third goal, but they didn't. Zublian and Pogon again, laying the late draw here. Drip laying, oh no, just at 1.13. And a small back of Pogon at 13.5, given the fact that they've already gone from 2-1 to 2-2. And I missed the 2-1 to 2-2, which should have been our play. But I got that draw because the momentum was with Pogon. So a good day yesterday, relatively speaking, keeping your risk low and ensuring, or if you want to stay for the bigger returns, they would have paid off yesterday, as you see. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. I will see you again tomorrow. And I might see you later on, footballtradingprofits.com members, but please don't expect me to. I do like to have a day off.